Peace.
Peace.
This is Joshua Miller Law, Mr. PhD. You're just now entering the cipher called Real to Real 360. K-Wise.
Peace, God.
Bring that beat in, kid.
Indeed.
Peace.
Yeah. What's going on, party people? Welcome to the Real to Real 360 show. Let's get it in.
We do the knowledge and wisdom so you can understand. Real to Real 360 shows in full command. We changing the game for how it all was taught. From bondage to freedom to an independent thought. Yo, the show is here to bring about a change for real. To lighten everyone so we all know the deal. 360 degrees is a fact. We created the show to give our love back to our communities so we can know what's going on and give them the support from knowledge to born. So if you're ready to learn, then it's time to go. Sit back and relax and enjoy your show. Peace.
Peace. What's good, party people? What's going on? Peace to Allah's 5%, the nation of gods and earth, to all the human families of the planet Earth. I be DJ K-Wise, Allah, a.k.a. Kato, the black superhero. Welcome to another episode of the Real to Real 360 show. But without further ado, this show would not be possible if I had my brother in God along with me. My ride or die, my brother in God, none other than Joshua Allah, a.k.a. Mr. PhD himself. Come on aboard, Lord. Peace.
Peace to all the 5%ers in the universe, Allah's 5% nation of gods and nerves. Peace to you, my brother. You know it's always love, and I saw that you had a great time down there in Savior Seed with the old earth. So you know what I mean. And then also too, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Happy Mother's Day to Akila Jarifan. Happy Mother's Day to your black woman. Happy Mother's Day to every mother that's in sounding board of my voice. Today we were scheduled. And we had to reschedule with Brother Absolute, but he will be on the show on May 15th. But we want to discuss some things that we got going on, and we want to actually take this time out to say peace and thank you to all our followers and listeners, because we're starting to build a great audience and everything that we're dealing with and that's coming to fruition. Today being the born day, me and the God manifested, you know what I'm saying, a thought. And we brung it into existence with Real to Real 360. We sat down and we built. We said that we were going to make a show that was going to be able to build on everything in life. You know what I'm saying? As far as community, entertainment, financial literacy, mental health, anything that comes aboard politics. You know, when we dealt with, you know what I'm saying, the coronavirus, the breast cancer, everything that we were going to deal with, we deal with on this show.
Yes,
so
right.
We want to thank all of you who have been patient and viable with us and been vibing with us, and we want you to keep vibing with us. So tomorrow we definitely have, you know what I'm saying, one of Southern Soul's heavy hitters, the BIGGR Big Rob on the show, you know what I'm saying, and those who knows us know that we definitely push Southern Soul in every area of this country, because the music is vibing and it keeps love, you know what I'm saying, in the thoughts and the minds, and keeps relationships together, and then we deal with relationships.
And it's fun.
So, and it's definitely fun.
It's definitely fun.
Mm-hmm. Definitely fun. So
I'll be right back.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like we definitely want to make sure that we keep the audience, keep y'all listening, keep y'all vibing with us, and be patient. And know that we're going to build to be born. Peace to everyone that takes time out and acknowledge that how we maintain and keep everything together. All right. Okay, how you see everything that we've been dealing with, I mean, so far?
Oh man, magnetic. It's nothing but love, man.
Yo,
love
and I want to send a shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Omar Cunningham's own manager who's shouting us out. Peace, Kim Cole. You know what I'm saying? We definitely looking to get you, you know what I'm saying, get you on the show, because you have worked with some of the greats. So while you sitting there, you know what I'm saying, think that we're not going to plug you in, you crazy, because
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying, you work with TK Soul, you work with the GOAT himself, Omar Cunningham. So you the muscle behind the scenes. So we got to definitely get you plugged in. Also, too, I just received a text about 2 seconds ago of Absolute saying that he's about to come on. So I guess the God is ready to rock out with us. But until then, we're gonna push what we got going on right now. Real to Real 360 has been going into the next level of everything that we deal with. And Kim Brooks, peace. How you doing this evening? Thank you for tuning in and hoping everything is going great with Saving Row School. And
Absolutely.
that's a great thing that you're doing out there. And we salute you and we support you 100% on Real to Real 360. Now, being the fact that May is Mental Health Month, we have Angela L. Harris coming on this week, and she's a psychologist, and she's going to be able to speak to how individuals cope with having mental illnesses, PTSD, ADHD, depression, and all the above, and how we can help our family members who suffer from these different things. And we're just going to do what we do here. You know what I mean? And we're not even going to talk about what we got popping in August. We got a big surprise for individuals of the things that we got popping in August. You know what I'm saying? Stay in tune with Real to Real 360. But the simple fact is, we're going to make sure that we bring this all to fruition. When we make something born, we take it from the mind to the body and we manifest it to be true. Peace to the gods and earths. Right, K Wise? Yo, K, I think you're muted, my brother. I think you're muted.
I was on the phone. Absolute called me right now, and I'm about to make it happen. So that's what's happening. So I'm just waiting on the response. But listen, true indeed, to all the guards and nurses, we say thank you. I definitely got to give a shout out to Born Power. Born Power's been on here almost every time we started, and he been rocking with us hard. Definitely to if I'm gonna get the name right, Tisha. We got our Tina. They always been faithfully. The Queen, my aunt, she's been doing her due diligence and all. You know, LRN, they've been supporting. You know, giving us the comments and everything like that. We appreciate everybody who has commented, especially Kimberly. See her again, Peace Queen. We truly are grateful, humble, and shout out to a Tina Ashbrook. Yes. No doubt. We just got a lot going on, and it's great that we do, and I'm very happy. And everything that we've been doing for the people is what we've been doing, and you can't get it no better right here than Real to Real 360. We're not entertainment, we're infotainment. You know what I mean? Infotainment for education. That's what we're dealing with right now. That's what we're building on this Born Day. You know what I mean? This Build Day part show. Born Day. That's what we're doing, man. And this weekend passed for all the mothers, man. I salute y'all again, living or past. Great ones will never be forgotten because they have laid down the foundation for what mothers have come to be. And so it's great. It's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Mother's Day and things like that is always hard for me because, you know, my mother returned to the essence, 18 years ago, but every day is still a struggle. But I definitely salute all the mothers out there who took their time out to raise their children and make sure that their children have what they need to be successful in life. Now, we always build about how a lot of people have supported us. And I want to take this time out right now and say, to Livation Radio Network, we appreciate everything that you have done, and the success of Real to Real 360. Like you were saying, Born Professor, Tina, Tisha, Kimberly, and then it's a whole bunch of other people that add on, to keep pushing Real to Real 360. And we're humbled by a lot of things. We've been scheduled to collaborate with a lot of people, and a lot of people want to collaborate with us and do shows with us, and we're open for that. Miss Dee, she wants to do a show with us on her radio show, and that's going to be monumentous, because to step out of just Real to Real 360 and bring someone to add on with us, that should be something that will be magnetic, and I hope it draws you into the information that we have for you. And today's information is we showing love and support for all the individuals who show us love and support. You know what I mean? So as you see, you know what I'm saying, K hasn't even unmuted himself from the conversation he just had. He just talking and smiling. You know what I'm saying?
I just realized, man, again, shout out to Sir Charles, man. What's good, Sir Charles? Hope you enjoying it and everything. We had a great time with you. Looking for another time coming. I can't say no less, man. It's just been fun. It's just been fun.
It was crazy because with Sir Charles, building with Sir Charles, and then after show, building with Sir Charles, plugging us up with Little G from Silk. And we definitely, you know what I'm saying, was humbled by that. A lot of things that we have on the show and after the show, we are very humbled of the responses that we get. And we just want to say thank you all, you know what I'm saying, for showing the love and giving the love to us, because we want to give it right back to each and every one of you. That is the key for our success, and that is the key of unity. So those of you who have been, you know what I'm saying, staying with us and realizing like, we give it from the heart, you know. And all the individuals that we've had on, like Mark Holloway, is an up and coming Southern soul singer that's, man, if you just take your time and do the knowledge to his music, is beautiful. Miss Pat has her new EP out, and that's fire. So if you have never got a chance to actually listen to Southern Soul, we're going to be bringing you a lot of Southern Soul artists on Real to Real 360. We had It's Karma, and again, just having Omar Cunningham on the show was very humbling for myself, because we're both big fans of Omar Cunningham, Sir Charles Jones, and the heavy hitter BIGG ROBB Big Rob. Those of you who know, you know, these are names you need to look up and songs you need to listen to. Also, too, we want to reach out, and we're going to reach out and have been in conversations with J Mars Group. We're looking forward to bringing them on. Also, too, TK Soul, and if we can, a few other Southern Soul artists. So at this point in time, you know, we just want to make sure that everybody's in tune with what we have going on. We have a plethora of things. Also, too, shout out to Project 43 out there in LA. They keeping the marathon going with Nipsey Hussle's dream of having a re-entry program, you know what I'm saying, for individuals just coming home and helping the homeless, helping with teenage pregnancies, stop the violence movement out there in California. So if you get an opportunity, look up Project 43, reach out to Miss Ann and tell her Real to Real 360 has sent you, because definitely she's doing the work in the community.
I salute to Miss Ann. That's right. Absolutely.
You know, we've had, you know what I'm saying, Saladin Quinard, which, you know what I'm saying, I salute him right now, because he's has been shown on the UN. United Nations have done a documentary on this brother out there in Niagara Falls, which is monumentous, you know what I'm saying, to have an individual like himself, who is the grandson of Josiah Henson, which is the real Uncle Tom. And if you know the history of the Uncle
you
Tom,
got frozen.
Who got me?
Yeah, good now.
We realized that the real Uncle Tom, the real history to the Uncle Tom, look it up, research it, and understand that that man was more than what you honestly think he is. And also, too, we have Salim Adopo, who's doing the Feed the Hood right now in Washington, D.C. And also, too, he's running for commissioner again. So those who are in the Washington, D.C. area and you're watching and you're listening, please go out and vote for our righteous brother, Salim Adopo. You know, let's make sure that we get all this going. Now, my student, Radia Love, man.
I saw him on the gram with some good stuff he was doing.
Yeah, man, he's doing some great things, man.
That poetry he left up there was magnificent.
And
magnificent.
He's one brother that he's involved with the community. He's involved with his family, And not only that, he teaches school, he teaches the babies. Not only does he teach the curriculum, but he teaches them and feeds them, spoon feeds them knowledge of self. Spoon feeds them knowledge of self, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That you can take that time and build with individuals. Also, too, the Black Justice Society. That was a powerful, powerful interview.
Shout out to High Octane.
Shout out High Octane. Shout out High Octane. They have something coming for Juneteenth out in Mississippi. Get involved. Look it up. Also, too, peace to my brother Brown Seed, Tashana Love, man. A smile came over my face for a reason, because when you're talking about nation builders inside the Lost 5%, he has stepped up and put himself in a position where he's making moves. Now they are down in Danville, Virginia, where the father was born, and they about to have the city, the whole state, the city of Virginia, Danville, Virginia, recognize the law, this birthplace. So Tashan Brown Seed, my brother, I love you.
Yes, peace to the God.
You know what I mean? Salute to you. Keep building. You know what I'm saying? All the builders build, you know. Peace to the guards and nurses at the law school who maintain the law school every day. And thank you for the work that you do, the tireless work that you do. It's definitely, you know what I'm saying, appreciated. I know a lot of times people don't tell you that, you know what I mean, because of whatever situation, but we definitely appreciate everything that you have going on. And thank you again. Hey, okay. You want to give them that little sneak peek of what we got going on in August? A little sneak peek of that. You know what I mean?
I think we're gonna hold on to that for just a little while longer.
Sure. You know what I mean?
I think we should. But I'll just say like this here. State of South Carolina, city of Darlington, we coming. I'll just say, we coming. I'm gonna put it like that. I'll say it again. State of South Carolina, city of Darlington, we are coming. When I say we, there's a whole lot under that umbrella, those two letters. We definitely coming.
Definitely.
You might want to get yourself ready.
Definitely.
We will be in the building.
Also, too, I want to take the time out to thank Kaba Kamene for coming on to our show, which was powerful. When the Kaba came on, it was very powerful. He left a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, bestowed on us, and he left a lot of knowledge on the table, you know. So that was
definitely part two got to come, because it was no way we could have squeezed all that information in that hour.
Peace to my brother Born Black.
Indeed.
Love you, big bro. Build this build.
Yeah, gotta put it up there. Absolutely. So in there. Peace. I'm gonna tell you, we forgot another one. We got another one. You forgot the most information about fatherhood.
Right. The Fatherhood Foundation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Great.
That was a very impactful show. The brothers out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania are doing a great job, whereas they're helping brothers that's coming home, that's re-entering the community, reconnect with their families, with their children. So there's so many things that you could say about that, because a lot of brothers have been incarcerated and they lost connection with their children, and they lost connection with their families. And these brothers are doing something about it. These brothers and sisters, part self, are doing something about it. And I applaud them. I truly, truly applaud them for the work that they're doing, helping people, helping families connect. Because fathers are important just as much as mothers are important.
Absolutely.
You know, and I salute them brothers out there, man, and sisters, for doing the work that they're doing. When you're sitting in there, you know, in dealing with social ills and all these different things that we deal with in urban communities, and you still have the energy to give back because you know it's your duty as a civilized person, you know, it's to me, that's monumental. That's monumental. We had Queen Angela on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had Queen Angela on, which is, you know, a motivating speaker, inspiring individuals to make moves happen for themselves, entrepreneurs. We've had Professor Griff.
Whew, high power. That's a rifle. That's a high powered rifle right there. That's a 50 caliber right there.
50 caliber.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Professor Griff, man. We love you, big bro. Don't ever forget that. We love you, big bro. On the real.
On the real. And that's real to real right there.
Shout out to Sabrina Brown Productions. What's good? We got you. And man, again, I just gave out one secret already. You see there? All I'm gonna say it again. South Carolina, City of Darlington, we coming.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. You know what? I'm gonna put this out right now. Because we got time. To all blessed born fathers out there, for Father's Day coming, I'm asking you all, if there's anything you want to put out, if you have anything going on for your community to help your brothers push out the strongness and reach out about Father's Day, because Father's Day is very important as well. So we want to strive for that to be exactly what it is, Father's Day. If you got something you want to put out there, come holler at us, real360@gmail.com. REAL, the number 2, REEL 360@gmail.com. Let's make this an explosive year, putting the fathers on top where you should be. Fathers are the foundation. You are leaders by right. So let's make sure we're doing that duty.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Indeed. Peace to all the nations of gods and earth. Our righteous brother, Absolute Truth Allah, has just stepped into the studio. He's backstage right now, and we're gonna bring him on.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the gods. Peace to the family. Fun shock on that, God. You know what happened when you sent me that confirmation? I had intended to put it in my calendar and never put it in my calendar.
Well, God, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, Allah comes in his own time. Peace to key love.
They love, right?
Peace to key love.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? Like we said, Allah comes in his own time. So all our energy, you know what I'm saying, was giving us an opportunity to actually shout out a lot of individuals who came and support with us. And today is part 2 of you coming on. So basically we were segueing until you got ready, you know what I'm saying, to bring forth your energy. You know what I'm saying? So because we want the people to realize this is not your first time coming on. You know what I'm saying? And if those who have missed the information from the beginning,
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying? We definitely don't want you to miss this information. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your pens and paper out. Get your calculators together. Get your mind right, because it's going to get blown right now with all of that. Peace of absolute truth. Start educating the people on how day trading works and how it's been since the pandemic started.
Wow. Well, right now we are probably at the most historical time in the market. We have had the highest level. I'm talking recently over the last equality months, especially with this month in particular. If we were to go back to last week, we had Jerome Powell, who is the Fed chair, come out and confirm that they are going to raise interest rates. They're going to raise by 0.5 point. And the market at first seemed to like that information because we rallied on that day. We rallied on that point. The S&P, which is going to be the largest index in America, rallied by $12.
Mm-hmm.
The very next day, Thursday, it dropped by $15. Okay, so we right now is a very historic time. We have historic inflation. We have just today the S&P has hit a 13-month low. Most of the stocks that the best ones that we spoke about the last times, like your Microsoft, your Facebook, Apple, a lot of these stocks are in downtrends. And there are also some of them, like the NASDAQ, that index has a sell rating right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all based upon the interest rate decision that was made and the Fed rolling off their balance sheet, which should start taking place in June. So to get to your point about day trading, you can play the market based on wherever's going. If it's going up, or in stock market language, that's considered being long. Okay, you can play it that way, and you can play it what they call short or bet against the market when you think the market is going to go down. So we are having right now, if we were to pull up any stock chart, we would be able to see, number one, a downtrend over the last 6 months. But if you were to zoom in to a tighter time frame, you'll see the up and down gyrations that the market is making. And that's all just because we're in very uncertain times right now and uncharted waters, so to speak. Now, a day trader is going to take that volatility or that movement and extract some profit out of that, whether they're long or whether they believe that the market is going to go up, they're going to make money on the upside. If they think the market is going down, they're going to make money on the downside. So that's all that day trading is just extracting some money out of the normal fluctuation of the market. Now, of course, if you're in a time like this where we have high volatility, to see, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, just going to my CNBC app. And I am going to pull up today's activity. Okay. So when we look at that, the S&P, number one, it closed below 400 today. Or on the index, the SPX closed below 4,000 today. That's a significant move. It went down 3.20%. Okay, now when you see a move of a percent, whether it's up or down, that's a significant move. So a 3% move, that's huge. The S&P dropped $13 today.
Wow.
Okay? Now one could have played the market.
Paul Shelf, absolutely. When you speak of S&P, when you're speaking of S&P, what is the defining,
Yes.
so people will know when you say S&P, for those who are not financially literate in the market strategy?
Okay, the S&P is for Standard & Poor. That's these guys who put together this index that tracks the top 500 companies in America. And we're talking about market caps of somewhere up in the 100 millions, probably even the billions that you're looking for. So these are the 500 largest companies that are in America. So anytime you see like your newspaper or your a news reporter or whatever, and they're telling you how the market fared for that particular day, they're going to mention the S&P, top 500 companies. They're going to mention the NASDAQ, which is your top tech companies. And they're going to mention the Dow, which is the oldest index. Even though it's not really an index, it's an average of the top 30 companies that was created by this guy, Charles Dow and his homeboy Jones something, and they came up with an index now, or average. Now those 30 companies are not the same 30 companies that were in it when it was created. Recently, Apple was added to it. You know, a lot of the names have changed, but it's going to be an average of 30 companies. So to break that down, if you wanted to get a gauge of where we were in America, business-wise, you could look at the Dow, which is going to be 30 leading companies, or you could look at the S&P, which is going to be 500. So it's going to be a broader picture of American business. You know what I'm saying? You could look at 30 companies. Yeah, okay, that's great. 500 is going to give you a better gauge of where we are as far as American business goes. So in terms of the stock market, that's why people always refer to them. Now, when a lot of people that may be out there that have 401ks and stuff like that, those, like whether it's with Fidelity or Charles Schwab or all of that kind of stuff, they base their performance on how the S&P performs. Okay, so if the S&P performs 8% for the year, 8%, and they perform 10% positive, they can then come out and start, popping their collar and saying, we beat the S&P. You understand? Does that make sense? Is that clear?
Gotcha.
Okay, so for me to speak that way and reference these instruments is that anybody that wants to be a day trader, an investor, or just to be involved with the market, you want to be familiar with these things because that's going to let you know where it's going. So the average person can pull up their CNBC app or any app out there that tracks the market and see, well, how did the market perform today? Instead of going and looking at all of these different companies, Apple, Microsoft, Nike, you can just pull up the S&P. Oh, the S&P was down. Oh, how's tech doing? You can look at the NASDAQ. Okay, that's going to be a gauge of where we are. And that's why I'm speaking from that standpoint.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Absolutely. So for the average person, what would be the minimum requirement to say to do an investment in?
To do an investment or trade? Because an investment,
the trade parts of the trade.
I need that. The trade. Let me clarify the difference between the two. Okay. So if we look at everything that's been going on for the last 6 months, I implore anybody that's out there, you got your phone in front of you, you got a laptop in front of you, or whatever. You can go to either CNBC.com or MarketWatch.com, and you can kind of follow along with what we're building on. Okay? So when we look at everything that's happening in the market right now, a day trader is looking at the volatility, the movement, and they're able to make money or generate income based on playing the movements. The market only moves 3 ways. It's going to move up, down, or sideways. Okay, so a day trader is going to be able to identify that when they come to step to the game to make some money. They're going to identify what trend are we in. Are we in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend? Are we going sideways? And then they're going to find what strategy they can use to exploit that movement. Now, an investor may be looking at certain companies. Let's say you watch something like Tesla. Recently was $1,200, $1,300, is now somewhere around the 8s. So an investor is going to say, wow, I wish, to clarify, that's CNBC, now born culture. Okay, so someone who might be interested in buying Tesla, they're going to look at the fact that the price has come down so much So now they're going to begin looking at all of the stuff that's going on right now, and they're going to be going bargain hunting. It's like when we, wanted to get a leather back in the day, God, where we went? We went down to the Lancing, right? You know what I'm saying? They got the bargain.
Hold on.
Or if you hear,
I was just on Delancey in December to get me a bomber, so I don't know about them back in the day. I just was on Delancey.
If we heard, Dr. J's or Jimmy Jazz is going out, we're going to run down there and say, let me see what I can get for that bargain. That's how the investor's going to be looking at the market right now. They're going to be bargain hunting on some of these great companies. Microsoft, I was just looking at, is like 263. It was just 300 and change. So now I'm starting to look and see where I can buy, because I intend to hold that for maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So that's what an investor is doing. An investor is just looking for bargains, scooping up them bargains, holding them in their portfolio. Where a day trader, we just in and out. We're just in and out on whatever. Today, it might be Microsoft because it's hot. Tomorrow might be Apple because that's what's moving. So that's the main difference. The investors make money because they're holding for a long, extended period of time. They may be getting dividends on top of their investment. The company may be innovating and growing and producing more earnings. And that's just a different game. That's the long game, whereas day trading is the short game.
Gotcha.
So if someone wanted to get started, it would really depend on what their goal is. Usually when I meet people and I build about this, I'll ask them what their financial goal is, how much money they want to make, and by when. Mm-hmm. And then we can start to drill down into, well, how much do you want to start with? I have this amount of money to start with. Okay, you want to start with this amount of money and you want to make this amount, this is how much you would have to make every day. So it's two very different games when someone is, dealing with the stock market based on generating income every day to pay their overhead, to pay their bills, versus someone who just wants to have a nice retirement or put some money away for their babies and things of that nature.
Now,
so it's a very interesting thing. Go ahead, Guy.
With day trading, and you had spoke about individuals having a 401k and things of that nature. With day trading, it's more so you're investing and watching how it's peaking, and you're trying to sell before it drops, and you're trying to buy it at its lowest peak. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, God, what you're speaking on is actually timing the market, and no one can really time it. You can use a lot of different tools out there to make an educated guess of where the price is going to go. You can't call the top and say it's not going any higher, and you can't call the bottom because it's too many factors involved. You got what's called algorithms. So when you're dealing with these 401ks and these hedge funds and things like that, they're using computers to trade for them. Mm-hmm. You have human emotion. Somebody may have put $50,000 into Tesla. Now it's down to 40,000. They see it dropping down to 38. They're getting scared. They're pulling out. It's just too many factors involved for you to say this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. However, there's something that's called ATR. To have an ATR. You can go to a website like Bar Chart, and Bar Chart will tell you how the stock typically moves over 5 days, over 7 days, over 9 days. So as a day trader, even down to 1 day. So even as a day trader, if I know that a stock has an ATR, which means average true range of $1, then I'm trying to extract 50 cents out of that dollar, 25 cents out of that dollar, depending on how many shares that I have. So if I have 100 shares and I'm trying to extract 50 cents out of there, that's a $50 profit. So that's all you're doing at day trading is the normal ATR or the normal fluctuation of that stock price. You're trying to get some of that out as a profit. You don't really care if the company's making money. You don't care if they're losing money. You just know that everybody's talking about this particular stock today. It's in the news today. It's moving today. The volume is there. A lot of shares are trading hands. So it's easy for me to get in that stock and to get out. So I'm going to take a piece of that ATR for myself and keep it moving. That's all day trading is. Doesn't even really matter what's going on with the company. Does that make sense, Gal?
True indeed, Lord. That's great. That's great information. Also, too, is day trading a great tool for entrepreneur?
It is. It certainly is. You kind of make your own hours.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of make your own. You are, of course, at the mercy of the market hours. Mm-hmm. However, there's different categories that you can play. For instance, a lot of people are into crypto. Mm-hmm. Cryptocurrency trades 21, what your rest habits are, however you are, you might be able to jump in the crypto game because that's 24/7. Mm-hmm. The Forex game, which is currencies, the trading of currencies, is it's like 6 days a week that runs. Like 24 hours, 6 days a week, something like that for the what's called the Forex. Then you have what's called futures, and futures are it's kind of like stock trading, yet it's all a cash settled business, and that functions longer than regular stock market hours. So stock market hours are from, at least the cash session is from 9:30 to 4. So you can make your own hours based around that somehow. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will just trade the first hour from 9:30 to 10:30, they done. Or some people will trade the morning 9:30 to 10:30, and then they'll trade 3 to 4 and they're done. So it is an excellent vehicle for entrepreneurship. You are putting up your own money as you would in any other business. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is with stock trading, your money is your inventory. Mm-hmm. You lose your money, you go broke, you can't play no more. You know what I'm saying? As long as you have funds, then you can be in the game and you can trade. The only difference with that is, you have to be responsible. You have to hold yourself accountable. And a lot of people get out of, they think, oh, I'm just being an entrepreneur because I can just call my own shots. Yeah, you can. Are you going to hold yourself accountable when you make a mistake or when you're doing something wrong? Are you going to, write yourself up? Like you get a write-up on a job. Are you going to hold yourself accountable? That's the only, science with it. You know what I mean? Now with us, our background, our culture and stuff like that, you are, responsible each and every day, each and every way. You have to hold yourself accountable. You should be. You know what I mean? So that's a benefit for you. Yes, it is gambling. Akila Refined is gambling. It's educated gambling. Okay, due to knowledge, right? Let's say all of us, right, we was walking down the street, right? Mm-hmm. And we seen Mike Tyson. And I started talking sideways, reckless. You know what I'm saying? So that he can hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm dissonant, right? Mm-hmm. So, Josh Jamel say to Akila, yo, I think Mike gonna knock him out. Right? So KY say, yeah, I put $20 that might knock him out. That's a gamble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't got no glass jaw or nothing. You know what I mean? But that's Mike Tyson.
Hey,
It's an educated.
no disrespect. My money on Mike. My money on Mike. I just seen him whoop dude on the airport. I'm going with Mike on that one. I'm just go ahead, add on, look.
So it's a gamble in the sense that no one knows what's going to happen. You know, like we could all say, all right, let's buy Apple. You know what I mean? It's down to 151. It's a great company. They got great products. You know, I think it's going to keep going up. Put your money down on it. Little do we know, they come out and say, listen, because of everything that's going on now with the supply chain, you know what I'm saying? Because right now there's an issue getting chips, and you need chips to make everything. So if Apple come out and say, listen, we can't get no chips. We got a lot of products that we want to bring out, but we ain't got them. We can't get the chips. So we expect our revenue to drop by $10 million next quarter. People's not going to like that. They're going to sell. The price is going to drop. So there is certain factors that's going to be out there that's going to change what happens to it. You just want to stack the odds in your favor. Mm-hmm. So you stack the odds in your favor, whether it's trading or investing, by picking a good company with good products that has a good sound balance sheet. When I say that, that means, go ahead.
Pardon me. We have a lot of people who are shouting out and in the Real 360 group. If you're saying peace and we're not acknowledging you, is because it's coming up as Facebook user. If you can say peace in your name, so we can acknowledge the fact that you are doing it on and you are receptive to what the God Absolute is saying, that would be grateful. Those names who are coming up are actually coming up from my page, KY's page, and YouTube and Twitch. The ones in Real 360 group is coming up as Facebook user. So if you're commenting through Facebook user, please say your name, type in your name, so we know exactly who you are. Pardon self for that, Lord. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't ignore none of the individuals, because there's a lot of people saying peace and they're acknowledging, but we want to acknowledge them at the same time. Keep adding on, Lord. Pardon self.
Yeah, no, that's peace, because I think that's the most important part. And we kind of built on that, Josh Mel, when we was talking about, you know, getting the message out there. So the message really is got to be catered to the people themselves. Everybody's situation is going to be different, you know. So to add on what I was saying is, when you step into the markets, you want to trade or whether you want to invest, you want to stack the odds in your favor. And you stack the odds in your favor by picking companies that are good, solid companies that are have good revenue and have a good balance sheet. There's a lot of companies out there that's operating, but they're not making money. Okay, and you're seeing the evidence of that now, because when we had the pandemic, initially you mentioned that, guy, with the pandemic. When the pandemic took place and everything started shutting down, the stock market actually crashed when it happened. The only reason why the stock market recovered was because of special operations that were done by the Fed.
Wow.
These are the different types of stimulus packages they were coming out with. Also, they were injecting money into the market by buying mortgage-backed securities and buying bonds. That's the regular government bonds or bonds issued by companies. They were injecting this money inside the market, and that's what kept the market going up. Also, you had people who may have been somewhat financially stable, and the government just gave you $1,200. I think they did that twice. They gave out $1,200. So if you think matter of fact, I think it was $1,200, but then it was a certain amount for each child. So there's some people out there who have 4 or 5 kids. I know one sister, She got 6,000. So some people took that money and put it in the market and started trading with it. And you could have probably taken a dart and threw it at any particular stock and it went up. So now we have the opposite happening where the Fed is telling you we're not supporting the market anymore. We are taking our money out of the market and we are raising interest rates. And this is what's happening with tech, because tech companies need to borrow a lot of money to function. And with the interest rates going up, that means the loans they're going to pay is going to be more expensive for them. Okay, so a lot of them, you can probably pick any one of them, and they're all in downtrends right now, God. And now I've been doing this for almost knowledge, wisdom years, God. I've been involved with this. I've never been able to pull up a list of stocks, God, 50, 60 stocks, and go down the list and see all of them downtrend. Downtrend, that means it's 200-day moving average. It's below its 50-day moving average. It's below its 20-day moving average. This is what a day trader uses to gauge whether to play the market to the upside or the downside.
Lord,
so let me
you have
slow
a
that
question.
down a little bit.
You got a question that from the audience that wanted to know. I'll let you read it. You have a question from the audience about investing.
What do you think about the investment? What do you think about investment, the tools such as Robinhood, Acorn, or Stash? Okay, and we kind of built about this before. I like Robinhood because you can buy fractional shares. They are robbing you though. Okay, and it's really not going to matter if, you know what I'm saying, if you have a long-term outlook, if you're looking to invest from now for the next 10 years, next 15 years, next 20 years, and you want to buy something like Tesla that's $800, but you're not going to plop down $800 in one shot. You might let me put $80 a month into Tesla. You can do that at Robinhood. There's some other places that you can't do that. Acorn, I did download it. I've never used it though. And I think they kind of have the same type of function. Stash, I was looking at Stash, and Stash kind of wants you, at least when I looked at it, they wanted you to pick some kind of plan, whether you're putting, $5 a month or $10 a month or something like that. Anything that does that, I like it for those who are new to the game. It gives you an opportunity to start getting your feet wet in the game. And that's beautiful, and I love that. As time goes on, or as your experience grows, or as your desire to, master these markets or participate in this market, you got to understand that a place like Robinhood, when you're putting in that fractional money, you're not going to get the best price. You're not. So if you're not getting the best price, it's hard for you to win. You understand? Like the trade is made, or the profit is made at the purchase point. So I'm already cheating you out of the purchase price. You're already behind the game. However, that is a beautiful thing for somebody that's new and say, or maybe somebody works and they don't have time to follow the market like that, yet they want to get involved. You can start by using Robinhood and eventually transfer your money out of there. Let me just start. Let me just see what it do. That's fine. Very easy, a seamless process to get you started. And I'm in favor for that. You just need to know that on the back end, they are cheating you, like most brokers do anyway.
Before I go, I'm gonna go back to you when you talked about the crypto, foreign exchange, the FE, I've noticed, and I want to make sure we get this clear with a lot of people who may have a lot of social media sites, TikTok, Instagram, even some parts on Facebook where people are advertising how you can make $7,000, $10,000 in a day if you give them $250 or $500, and people are being scammed. So if you could elaborate on more of that point of what to be truly aware of, so people who thinking they're making a wise decision at doing this would be aware of these flags.
You know what? Peace, K-Wise, because that's a beautiful point that we need to address, because when I see it, it pisses me off. A lot of times when people come out with these advertisements, what they are telling you is true. It can happen. However, they're presenting it to you almost like you said, you're going to pay this $250, and the next week or the next day, you're going to make $1,000. That's not how it works. It's not. First, let me get this clear. And let me say this so everybody can hear it. Don't pay nobody nothing. Everything that I have learned to get me to navigate these markets, I have taught myself, which means that anybody that's out there that's hungry enough that wants to know can learn how to do this without spending any money initially. Okay? Now, of course, there are certain services that you can use that you can pay that will assist you in your development. But there's no, it's not like getting fresh. All you got to do is get fresh is you get the money, you go to the store, you buy the stuff, you put it on, you fresh now. Okay? It don't work that way. There is work involved with growing in this field. No, whether you want to be an investor, whether you want to be a trader, whatever, it's work that is involved. Okay? And you have to put in that work. If you're not going to put in that work, and that's how they get you, because they're telling you, oh, I got a seamless process, or I got it's just these 3 things that you need to know and you'll be able to make money. It's not like that. It's not like that. So please, please do not pay anybody anything. I put my information out there. Anybody could reach out to me with questions, and I'll kind of set you on a path to go. I was building with a brother the other day, and I asked him how much he had, what did he want to do, and I said, here, knowledge this first. Once you knowledge that, which was a website that I gave him, is investopedia.com. Anybody can go to that website, investopedia.com. Any question that you have, any phrase, any term that comes up that you want to understand, go to Investopedia, put it in there. They're going to either have a video or an article that explains what that is. And then if you still don't understand, holler at me and I will break it down for you so that you can understand. Because it's not about, and that's the whole science. That's the whole science. A lot of people get rich on Wall Street by robbing others. Okay, Chuck D said it in the rhyme, my so-called broker made my ass broker. That is the whole science behind that shit. Taking somebody else's money, call my language, taking somebody else's money.
Wow.
It would freeze up on that important
part. Yeah, right. It would freeze up right there, right?
Making it what we take it to the next level. Okay, so all of these scams that you're seeing out there, all of these advertisements, don't fall for that. And if anybody out there comes across something that they say, oh, this looks like it's legit, send it to me. I'll let you know if it's legit or not. Because there are legit services out there. And of course, you should pay for a legitimate service. It's so hard for you to figure out what's real and what's not, because everybody's looking for that get rich scheme, and I'm telling you, it ain't no get rich scheme. It ain't. You have to work. I have to work to make money. It's a fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Rocky Balboa versus Ivan Drago type of fight. It's not it's not a walk in the park.
Right. Oh man, the God. I tell you, when he hit points and it did just freeze. He hit a point and the whole thing just freeze, man. It's like
they don't want this information out because it's the absolute truth.
It's the absolute truth, right? Now the question that I have is like, is it safer to go through a brokerage firm to start out investing, he still froze?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's something that I really want to know. Like, is it safer to go into a brokerage firm because a lot of these brokerage firms have been around and they're established. So, absolute, is it safer to go through the brokerage firms like Lehman Brothers and stuff like that? Just to name one or two. Is he there?
He froze again just as soon as you, but I think he heard the question, but he froze. Okay. This is vital information.
Is it safer to go where?
To different brokerage, to a brokerage firm to invest. Man, this is
Peace. She was asking God, is it safe for
to like go to a brokerage firm like Fidelity or Lehman Brothers or something like that? Wow. You see, this is crazy when you're dealing with absolute truth. Certain things don't want it to be out there. You know what I mean? So like Fidelity, Lord, like say like I want to go to a brokerage firm like Fidelity. Is it safer for me to invest with them and let them do the legwork or what? I don't know. The God is frozen. Oh man.
We gonna get it right. We gonna get it right.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
I already had texted him the same thing you said, Akila. So we absolutely. I put that there to make sure. But again, vital information being handled right here at its finest, and you're hearing it right here. You back, Lord?
If you're asking about a brokerage firm is a crook too. They're crooks too. There's something when you're buying a stock or an option. There's something that's called.
Damn. I tell you, man.
Yeah, this is why we tell everybody you need your paper and pen to get this out. And this is the reason why we have part 1, part 2, and there's damn sure going to be a part 3.
It's going to have to be because we got to clear this up. We got to clear this up. We got to clear this up, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, but that's just what's going on with the powers that be. What you hearing, vital information coming from the God, absolute truth right now about stocks, trades, buy, sell, and he's not sugarcoating. He ain't holding nothing back. He's trying to give you the most positive insight on things that can make a real difference if you're willing to take the chance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So. And this is where we, as Black people, be tricked because we don't know the knowledge. We don't do the knowledge. We go on a lot of hearsay instead of getting the facts that we can look at for ourselves, especially when the information is being put in our information storage. And if we don't go do the knowledge and research it for ourselves and come back and ask questions like this, then we'll still be 85% blind, deaf, and dumb mentality.
Right.
And we'll still be stepped on and used on because, like the God, we always talk, we as Black people are the largest consumers right here in this nation. We invest in so much on their product that we don't realize that if we invested in ourselves, those products would be in demanding to say, hey, we need you back.
Yeah, definitely financial literacy is a major thing when it comes down to the Black community. And one thing about it, like to get into individuals' mind state of finances and economics, we have to make sure that we give them individuals who are in that walk of life. You know what I mean? That's one thing about Real and Real 360. We give you this information. We bring people on that can help benefit you in anything that you have going on. Like today, we have the brother Absolute Truth on, who's able to give you the information, and even though like it's choppy, but at some point in time, it gives you enough. It plants a seed where you can go and do the research and add on for yourself. Absolute, are you on, Lord? Is there? Okay. Now we didn't get a chance to hear your thoughts on what are your thoughts on the brokerage firm? Because when you went to building it, it cut out.
Okay, now the brokerage firm, that's going to be the medium by which we can trade stocks or options. They are robbing you too. It's just that some are better than others in the sense of execution speed. If you are day trading, you need speed to get in and out. And if there's a lag, especially let's say you scalping, and scalp means a quick trade. If you're scalping 1,000 shares for 10 cents, it's imperative that you get in right when you need to get in and get out. Okay. Now some brokerages will lag. There was an incident with Robinhood where we had what was called a limit down day. So a limit down day means if the stock market drops a certain percentage from the previous day's close to the next day, it drops a certain percentage, they will halt the market for 15 minutes. There were at least 2 occasions in 2020 when the market crashed where Robinhood locked people out. So you could have a situation where you're sitting on a profit in your account because you assessed the market, you felt this was going to happen, and you position yourself accordingly. But if your brokerage is locked and you can't get in your account, you can't sell it. On another channel on here, they had somebody who bet against the Russian market. So when all of this war and all of that stuff broke out, they was right. They won. But guess what? They closed the Russian market. They couldn't sell those positions. This is the type of games that your brokerage is going to play. Now, of course, you have someone like a Fidelity. They are a very prestigious company. They're not going to out and out rob you like that, but they are nickeling and diming you here and there. One such instance is the bid-ask spread. Any brokerage you go, they have a bid-ask spread. That bid price means this is what people are willing to pay for whatever security it is or whatever stock it is. The ask is what someone is asking for. You want my shares, this is what I'm asking for. And there is a spread in between that. So I just pulled up AMD, which is a pretty liquid stock. It has a spread of 1 cent. Not bad. Yet, who gets that 1 cent? Your brokerage. Your brokerage gets that 1 cent. And there's other stocks that have a 10-cent spread, a 20-cent spread, a 50-cent spread. So they're automatically out the gate, they're getting that spread from you. It's also been said that your broker bets against you. So if I come into a market, especially me, somebody who's a trader, once I come in and I say, oh, this market is going down, I'm going to short it, right? I short it and bet that it goes down. Automatically, we'll get a pop-up like this. 9 times out of 10, it's my broker that's pushing the price up because they know that as a day trader, you're really supposed to close your positions at the end of the day. whether you're winning or losing. You're supposed to close in. You're supposed to go in each day fresh with cash. You're not supposed to be holding stuff overnight. So if I can play this little psychological game with you where you think the price is going up, right? You can go out there on the internet and you can look and you see these stories everywhere where people will buy a stock. It's going up, it's going up. Oh, I don't want to miss it going up. I jump in right here, boom. Then all of a sudden it drops down. Who's doing that? A lot of times your broker is betting against you. So this is really like the Wild Wild West, okay? And your buy and sell, those are your 6 shooters, is your buy and your sell. So you got to understand that all of these different forces are in effect out there. Yet a brokerage, especially if it's an American brokerage, they're going to play these little games, but they can't out and out do like blatant robbery to you. They do little things behind the scenes behind you where they're getting money from you. But for the most part, if it's an American brokerage company, you can trust that your money is there. You can trust that it's FDIC insured, stuff like that. Now, sometimes people will go, and this is another thing that's out there. There's offshore brokerages that will give you more leverage on your money. And I've seen a few of them. I'm not comfortable putting my money offshore. I'm not, because they could shut it down at any minute. Who's to say? So you'll see a lot of those people try, oh, come trade with us. We'll give you 7 times your money, which is great. Yet, it's not under the same jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying?
God, let me ask you this. What I'm doing the knowledge on, I'm gonna ask you this. Isn't it almost like we're playing invisible trading when we're dealing with banks, credit unions?
Hold on. Somebody's watching the show while it's going on. You have to put it on like the volume on if they're watching the feedback of the show or whatever, because it's giving a lot of feedback and you can hear it like double time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just used the link that you sent me, God. I didn't.
No worries. But yes, like when we're on air, if you're watching the show simultaneously, then you'll get that feedback and it will lag and double time with the talk. Well, go ahead and ask your question, Kay.
Okay. Doesn't it seem like people, and we may not even realize it, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and my mind starts thinking, well, isn't that what we're doing when we investing our money into banks, or it's coming with direct deposit to this bank, and then another bank says they can give you a better rate than this bank if you trade, bring your money here. But in the end, all banks are really robbing us because they're using part of our money that we put into them so that they can do what they do and then turn around and give us pennies to the dollar.
Well, God, that is 100% right and exact. If you were to ever follow, and anybody that's listening or watching right now can pull us up, and you pull up any of the bank earnings that just came out, and they will tell you what their trading revenue was. So all of this money that we're depositing in there, I think everybody uses direct deposit at this stage in the game, or the majority of people use direct deposit. So if you even just say, you got 100,000 people direct depositing $1,000 into that, they're going to have that liquid money that they can trade with. Because you can't go to the bank. If you have a certain amount in the bank, you can't go and say, give me my whole 50 racks right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what's called a run on a bank. You can't do that. So they're taking that money and they're putting that money to work, and then they're coming around and giving you now 1% on your money in a whole year. When you can make 3%, 7%, 8%, 10% on your money in one day. They're only giving you 1% in a year. And that's exactly what they're doing, God. JP Morgan, which is one of the biggest banks in America, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all of them had a trading arm. They had a floor where people are trading the money that comes from the people.
How important would you say it is for us to invest in our own? Like, I mean, I've seen a couple of Black-owned bank businesses that started off doing well, but because they took away the business that the others had, they turned around and did a coup and shut the Black business down. So again, we are fighting the powers that be in order to make change, but we know that we in their land where they have a major upper hand on us, but yet we still, that's why we try to talk about what we talk about, investing in ourselves so we can destroy that bond that they have over us, the barrier, that invisible slavery chain, and somehow make it right, because they keep putting things out there to say this person is so negative, where we are mistrusting our own selves again. And we're fighting against our own selves. And then look who we run into. We run into other sources that's been robbing us from day one. And then we thinking it's okay because they putting it out there like we talk about in the 1 to 36. Why does he like the devil? Because the devil gives him nothing. You see? So this is why it's vital and important for us to have a clearer understanding about the game that they play in their market strategy. So we know how to counteract that, or how to maneuver ourselves like pieces on the chessboard so we can be successful.
God, you hit the nail on the head, God, because when you look at, like, anybody could go out in their community, and if you see something as small as a Chinese shop, Chinese food restaurant, you see a staff with their employees. If you see them open up other businesses, whether it be a cleaners or a fruit and vegetable stand, you'll see they'll come in, their own people will come in and build a spot. Then once they build a spot, they staff it with their own people. Mm-hmm. And then once that's set up, they're going to move on down to the next part of the block and get the next spot. We've seen the Chinese people do it. We've seen the Middle Eastern people come and do it with just something as simple as a smoke shop. You know what I'm saying? You've seen the Spanish people do it with the corner stores and all of that kind of stuff. Definitely you see it in the Jewish community. We need our own economic base, because once you have your own economic base, that's when you begin to call shots. See, everybody was getting up on a soapbox because the Asian people had that law passed so quick. I think, a couple of people got beat up. Law was passed that quick. Why? They have economic power where they can make a phone call and say to somebody, listen, this needs, boom, and get that action. We have the economic base. We definitely do. The only thing is it's not collective. We're not bringing that money together for whatever reason. Even if we did something like a credit union, a SUSU, a hedge fund, that's why I started an investment club in the first place. That was my first start, was because I saw what could happen, and I wanted something better for myself, and I wanted something better for my people. And that's why I used that blueprint of an investment club, because an investment club is only governed by bylaws. It's not governed by the banking. I really wanted my own black bank, but when you get into the banking laws, I couldn't meet those coming from the hood. I couldn't meet those requirements. So I said, hey, let me do an investment club. We are, exactly as the Queen said, we are the economic base. And we need to come together for that one common cause. Because when it comes time to, rising inflation rates, tightening in the job market and all that, who are we going to turn to? We can't turn to somebody who gives us nothing. We can't. That's not going to work. We tried that already. It's not working. We need to try something else. So when you deal with the stock market, you have all of this esoteric language that's put out there to intimidate us so that we think that we can't do it. You study any one of them cats, Warren Buffett, any one of them cats. Warren Buffett, everybody like to quote him because he's the richest man. But guess how he got his wealth? By collectively getting money from other people and building up Berkshire Hathaway, where now one share of Berkshire Hathaway is over $100,000. But he started with a group of people. We can do the exact same thing, but they turn us against each other so that we start to think, man, Paul Malone, that nigga ain't about nothing. And then we sitting back here looking stupid while everybody's going into the next millennia or into the future with everything. Their kids are set up. There's no reason why we can't get that same money. The same way that the bank is taking everybody's deposits and trading that money, dog, even if you trade and you're scalping and you're getting 5 cents or 10 cents on a share, if you do that enough, if you trade 100,000 shares a day on 10 cents, what's that? You mean to tell me we cannot create our own economic base, our own job market, our own phone, everything what Elijah Muhammad came out with, the phones and all, we can do all of that. We have what? Supreme mathematics. Ain't no reason why we can't get it. But like the Queen said, they stick these pins in our head where we can't trust our brother. Okay, or we see somebody. I see K Wise and he pulling through in a range. This motherfucker think he all that. God, if it's me and I see somebody in a nice whip, I'm proud. Now I don't know him. I'm not trying to know him, but I applaud that he got that because I know it's not easy to get that, and he got it. So I'm celebrating that, brother.
God, I got a question. Is it best to do investing or day trading with public or private companies?
Well, there is a company that's their whole marketing strategy is telling you that you can invest in companies before they become public. Okay. Aside from that, there isn't really a way for you to invest in private companies unless you know the people. Now, I say public companies are better because public companies, they are required to report, their earnings, everything to you. It's an open book. Whereas a private company, I can come out with a private company and say, hey, this is my company. And you can say, oh, wow, y'all got some nice garments. It looks nice or whatever. Behind the scenes, we broke. We're not turning no profit, none of that. But you just like, oh, this is the wave. All the kids is wearing that. I want to support that. But it's not profitable. Whereas a public company, you can go and pull up and see, okay, over these quarters, they are losing money or they're making money or, what have you. So public is much better.
Okay, so a public company is much better to do day trading, and a private company is more so a long-term investment if you're able to get into it. Because I know at one point in time, a lot of people was trying to invest in the prison market and prison systems and things of that nature, and a lot of those are private. And everybody's not privileged to invest in the prison compounds and in these private institutions like that. So
that's private for a reason.
Right. But the whole thing is those long-term investment, 20-year, 30-year investments outside of day trading. The public is for day trading and private is for long-term investment.
No. Parts of God, that statement is for both. Statement is for both. Because you're putting your money into something either way. When you're putting your money in day trading, it's only going to be in for a short duration. That's the only difference. you're still putting your money up. And investing, you're putting your money into a company. So you putting your money into a company, you want to know, is this company profitable? Who's the CEO? Like, what if you look it up and the CEO, you find out he's, got sexual harassment charges all in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't know if this is running the company properly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into issues. So public is best for both. Remember what I said earlier, you want to stack the odds in your favor. So the more you know about a particular company before you make a move, before you put your money down, is going to help you in making better decisions, thereby helping you generate some money. If you don't know, it's a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A private company, the only time a private company will be good is if you don't need that money and you believe in the vision of whatever the company is, and you see like, oh, this is gonna change the game in 10 years or 15 years. You know what I'm saying? And you decide to get into it. Like a perfect example, you might have heard people talking about this metaverse thing.
Right.
The metaverse, if you remember that movie with homeboy, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, it was in Demolition Man, and it was in the future. Yeah. And remember when the chick took him home and she was like, "Oh, let's have sex," and he's like, "Yeah," and they put on some glasses. That's what the metaverse is, like a virtual world. So you have people that's now selling real estate in the virtual world. I saw an advertisement. Oh, you can buy a space next to Snoop Dogg in the virtual world. We don't know that that's going to really generate any money for real in the future. Everybody's speculating on that. You know what I mean? So you could invest your money in it. It could come out and it don't pop. Then what? The best way that you're going to be able to gain financial security and set yourself up for success is picking successful companies that are making money. And once you invest or trade that stock, you are going to make money because that company is we're not reinventing the wheel here. This is what everybody has done for generations and generations of how they got money. A lot of these Caucasian people, or a lot of people who are wealthy, who have money that was given to them, is because their parents invested in Coca-Cola, what are their grandparents, and a lot of times they inherit all of that. Mm-hmm. And they're just sitting on all of that wealth. There's no reason for us to reinvent the wheel and try to do something different. Right, exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And it's all this hype. And it's like, I mean, especially for people like us, we like, I can't really see. We might try to do it to get in with, our C's and their grand C's and try to be on par with them. It's not real, though. It's not real.
Yeah, Lord. I tell you.
Now, on the other side of that, I'll tell you what I look at with that. They're still going to need chips to make this happen. So if you want to invest in that wave, you can invest in AMD, NVIDIA. You can buy the ETF, which tracks all of the chip companies, which is SMH. Okay, you can the other one, Avgo. You can invest in chip companies because they're gonna need chips to make all of that stuff. Regardless if it pop or not, they're still buying those chips. The same thing with crypto. I used to be into crypto, but I said, you know what? I don't, it's not regulated. There's a lot of different issues with that. Let me just trade company or trade stocks that's associated with that. So when Bitcoin rallies, I'm jumping into Mara, I'm jumping into Riot, I'm jumping into stocks that's associated with Bitcoin because that's my strong suit, stocks. I'm not trying to spread myself thin. Now I got to learn this and master. I don't really have time for that. Let me just stay where I'm at. So right now, as a matter of fact, as everything else is going down, you know what's rocking and rolling? the most boringest stocks that nobody wants to even consider, like Kellogg's, General Mills. Some we was all raised on Campbell's soup, Hormel. You know why? Everybody's worried about a recession and all that kind of stuff. Those are the companies that's supposed to still keep going. Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. People still gonna buy food. Okay, so these are the things. Anytime that there's a shift in the market or something is changing, there's different things that you can do to move your money, because everybody, all of these hedge funds and 401ks and all that, that money has to move somewhere. Somebody's managing it. They have their performance, just like I said, they base their performance on the S&P, right? They're gonna be held accountable at the end of the year or during a time of review. How did they perform? So they can't just sit there and let the money evaporate. They gotta take it out of what's not working and put it somewhere where it is working. Now us,
Lord, hold on one second, Lord. Hold on one second, Lord. We run over a few minutes, and I wanna get you, because the 15th, we want to lock in with you. Well, we're going to do it right here live for the confirmation. Well, you can put it on your schedule. The 15th at the God Hour, we will put it right now. Absolute Truth back on. I want to get this confirmation right now before we close out.
Then you're going to have to tell me, yo, God, go watch the video. I'm locking you in right now, Lord.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, part 3 with Absolute Truth Allah on financial literacy, day trading, stocks, and the necessity of us being self-sufficient and going forward with our economical base. And I want to say thank you, Absolute, for coming on and dropping these jewels. And I hope that every individual that watched the show grabbed a pen and paper, because there was a lot of jewels that was left on the table for you to eat. K-Wise, my brother, I know you got some things you got to say.
Absolutely.
To close this out, bro.
All right, number one, very important. I want to make sure this knowledge be born. When I spoke, or when we spoke about other people making profit off of us, this is not about a racial thing. This is not about a confrontation about, oh, they made that comment, about black, white, whatever. Listen, the truth is truth known. So what I want to be loud here. What I'm saying to our people, do the knowledge. Do the knowledge to what's around you. Look, listen, and observe, and do the knowledge. The information that's being put out right now, I have so much absorbance, like a sponge right now. My wheels are spinning for reinvestment of ourselves. And we can do it if we come together, destroy the negativity, and add on positive attributes of saying we're going to make this difference, because it takes us to make change within us. We're not allowing that to happen no more where somebody's taking over us. We're not about it. We're about making the change and moving for us in the right direction. So again, my brother Absolute, peace, high salute. We thank you for coming on with the vital information of food for thought and mental stimulation. And we're definitely going to make this that part 3 on the 15th for sure. So to all of our fans, to all of our listeners, to all of our supporters, please sign up, line it up, call a friend, bring a friend to listen to the Real 360 on this coming Sunday, because if you miss it, you just miss it. What you're going to have to do is go back into the archives and catch up where we moving forward on. We don't want you to miss this boat. We're going to make it happen. All right? So on that end, peace to Quad, peace to all our human families of the planet Earth, to the gods and earths. We all say peace. And a high salute. Thank you once again for tuning into the Real 360. on
Peace,
behalf
Aquila.
Peace, Aquila. You done made the night.
You made the night.
You done made the night for sure, Queen. All right, y'all. We out. We will see you when we see you. Don't forget to tune in to tomorrow's guest, Josh Amel. Who we got?
The BIGGROBB Big
Yes,
Rob,
sir.
Southern Soul
Big
Heavy
Rob.
Hitter.
All right, y'all. Listen, we love y'all. We are out. Peace.
Peace.